Hello, friends, and welcome back to Compelling Stories for a Dinner Party. I'm your host, Christopher James, and tonight we dive into the criminal mind of the con man who sold the Eiffel Tower for scrap metal. Twice. We'll explore an unsolved mystery from Brazil known as the lead mask case, and we'll journey inward while playing in the trees as we learn about the ancient workings of Shinrin Roku. So, serve the pork chops and pass the applesauce. Let's get into it. In the heart of Paris stands the Eiffel Tower, a marvel of iron and ingenuity, stretching skywards as a beacon of French elegance and a symbol of romantic allure. But beneath its towering grandeur lies a tale not of engineering, but of deception, led by one of the most audacious figures of the 20th century. Meet Victor Lustig, a man whose charm was only matched by his cunning. With a mind sharper than the finest blade, Lustig carved his name into the chronicles of criminal history through sheer audacity and clever deception. His most infamous con? Selling the Eiffel Tower. Not once, but twice. Born in 1890 in Holstein, now part of the Czech Republic, Victor Lustig emerged from the shadows of the Austro-Hungarian Empire with a precious mind and a propensity for deception. His early years were marked not by the mischief of typical boys his age, but by calculated acts of cunning that hinted at the infamous path he would later choose. One of Lustig's earliest recorded cons involved duping a local jeweler. With a confidence well beyond his years, young Victor sold a phony gold necklace, which was nothing more than cleverly painted lead. The scam was simple yet brilliant, revealing his intrinsic understanding of human greed and gullibility. As he traveled across Europe, his scams grew more sophisticated. In one instance, Lustig exploited the burgeoning excitement around the transatlantic radio. He convinced several investors to fund a device he claimed would multiply radio waves, enhancing communication clarity and range. The device, of course, was non-existent. Each of these early deceptions sharpened his skills. Lustig's charm, linguistic dexterity, and psychological insight allowed him to manipulate the emotions and expectations of his targets, setting the stage for his grandest cons. It was these traits, charm, audacity, and a masterful understanding of human nature, that prepared Victor Lustig for the audacious act that would forever define his legacy, selling the Eiffel Tower. By 1925, the Eiffel Tower stood as a grand iron giant, yet it had become a white elephant, costly and unwanted. Victor Lustig, a con artist of the highest caliber, saw in this an opportunity for what would become his most legendary scam. Armed with fake credentials and the guise of a deputy director of the Ministry of Posts and Telegraphs, Lustig handpicked 6 of the top scrap metal dealers in Paris for a secret meeting at the luxurious Hôtel de Crillon. Each was carefully selected based on their wealth, influence, and perceived gullibility. In the grandeur of the Crillon, Lustig, with poise and sophistication, explained the government's supposed predicament. The Eiffel Tower, he said, was an expensive upkeep, and, discreetly, they were considering selling it for scrap. The meeting, swathed in secrecy, was designed to pique the dealers' interest and greed. The dealers were initially skeptical, but Lustig's confidence and the comprehensive documents allayed their fears. As he laid out the government's plan, his eyes carefully assessed each dealer's reactions. André Poisson, the least experienced and most eager to make a name for himself in the cutthroat scrap industry, was the perfect mark. Lustig sensed his insecurity and desperation for recognition. Lustig pulled Poisson aside confiding that the deal was sensitive and that securing it would require more than just the highest bid. It needed discretion and a willingness to expedite the process with a bribe. Under the chandeliers of an opulent room, away from prying eyes, Poisson handed Lustig a substantial envelope filled with cash, believing he was not just buying the iron of a landmark, but securing a future of immense wealth and prestige. As Lustig disappeared into the streets of Paris, the shadows of the Eiffel Tower looming in the background, he left behind a deceived businessman. His escapade set the stage for an even bolder repeat of the con, proving that sometimes reality can be more audacious than fiction. As the dawn broke over Paris, the excitement of a lucrative deal began to fade, replaced by a creeping suspicion in André Poisson's mind. The documents, the meeting, the secrecy, all started to seem less like a government operation and more like the contours of a con. Poisson, desperate for validation, showed the documents to his advisors. Their skepticism quickly turned into disbelief as they pointed out the inconsistencies and the oddities in the so-called government contracts. The reality hit hard. Poisson had been duped. Humiliated and fearing ridicule or even ruin, Poisson faced a dilemma. To report the scam would be to admit his gullibility and risk his reputation in the highly competitive scrap market. In a decision that would seal his fate and Lustig's escape, Poisson chose silence. He opted not to go to the police, hoping to bury his shame along with the scam. His silence was Lustig's ticket to freedom. Meanwhile, Victor Lustig reveled in the success of his incredible scam. But the story of the man who sold the Eiffel Tower was far from over. His brazenry knew no bounds, and soon he would attempt the unthinkable, selling the Eiffel Tower once again. Barely a month had passed since Victor Lustig successfully deceived André Poisson, yet the thrill of the con left him craving more. Undeterred by the risks, Lustig refined his approach, creating even more convincing documents and assuming a new alias within the government. This time, he targeted a fresh group of scrap metal dealers, ensuring none had any connection to his previous marks. With the scene set in an opulent meeting room, Lustig repeated his tale of woe about the Eiffel Tower's cost and the government's desperate need to sell it discreetly. His performance was flawless, his confidence unshaken by the closeness of his previous escape. As before, Lustig played on the greed and ambition of his audience, but this time he introduced a sense of urgency, hinting at competing interests from foreign buyers eager to snatch up the deal. This spurred the dealers into a frenzied state of eagerness to bid. Lustig found his mark in a dealer even more eager than Poisson had been. Promises of discretion and quick profits were whispered over glasses of fine wine, sealing another deal with a hefty bribe. As the money exchanged hands, Lustig's scheme seemed destined for the same success as before. But this time, seeds of doubt were sown among some of the other dealers. Whispered concerns and suspicions began to circulate, leading to inquiries that threatened to unravel everything. Just as the whispers turned to serious questions and the first threads of investigation began, Lustig made his escape. The con man vanished into the ether, leaving behind a burgeoning storm of suspicion and the beginnings of a manhunt. Victor Lustig's appetite for deceit knew no bounds. After his daring escapades in Paris, he traversed the Atlantic, bringing his schemes to the bustling streets of New York and beyond. His cons became more varied and sophisticated, from counterfeit currency operations to bogus stock sales. Among Victor Lustig's array of cons was the infamous money printing machine scam. He advertised this device as a miraculous invention capable of copying $100 bills. The machine was designed to exploit the hopes of those crushed by the Great Depression, promising an end to their financial woes. Lustig would demonstrate the machine to his marks, inserting two authentic $100 bills and operating it. After a theatrical delay, the machine would produce another $100 bill, seemingly replicated from the originals. In truth, Lustig had cleverly hidden a limited number of genuine bills within the machine, ensuring that it would only work during demonstrations. He sold the machines for a hefty price, often thousands of dollars. The buyers, blinded by greed, didn't realize the truth until it was too late. After the preloaded bills were dispensed, the machine would produce only blank paper, and by then, Lustig was long gone. Victor Lustig's flamboyant career eventually attracted the attention of the FBI. His downfall began with a betrayal. An accomplice, angered by Lustig's refusal to share profits from a scam, tipped off the authorities, leading them directly to him. In 1935, after a meticulous investigation, the FBI finally cornered Lustig. He was arrested in New York City, not for his infamous Eiffel Tower cons, but for his counterfeit money operations, which had become too bold and widespread to ignore. Charged with numerous counts of fraud and counterfeiting, Lustig faced a series of trials that stripped him of his aliases and revealed his true identity. His charm and wit, once his greatest assets, were no match for the evidence stacked against him. Victor Lustig's grand schemes came to an end within the cold, unyielding walls of Alcatraz. Sentenced to serve a lengthy term, the man who once sold the Eiffel Tower faced a reality far removed from the glamour and thrill of his con artist days. Behind bars, Lustig's health began to decline. The years of stress and the relentless pursuit of his next scam had taken their toll. Isolated from the world he had so adeptly manipulated, he spent his days reflecting on his checkered past. Even in prison, Lustig's reputation as a master con artist did not wane. Guards and inmates alike were fascinated by his stories, though none could verify the veracity of his tall tales. In 1947, Victor Lustig died from complications related to pneumonia, a quiet end to a life that had been anything but. He passed away largely forgotten by the outside world, his exploits overshadowed by the war that had reshaped Europe and the world. Today, Lustig is remembered not just for the boldness of his crimes, but for the ingenuity and psychological insight that made them possible. His legacy lives on in books, films, and stories, serving as a cautionary tale about the dangers of greed and the seductive power of deception. Victor Lustig's life reminds us that while genius can be used to dazzle and delight, in the wrong hands, it can also deceive and destroy. His story, part legend, part lesson, continues to captivate and caution us against the darker aspects of human ingenuity. We'd love to know what you think about this brazen con artist. Do you think you would have been duped by someone like Lustig? Can you see how someone like Lustig would make a lot of money today? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and while you're there, please like, share, and subscribe. In the quiet town of Niterói, just across the bay from Rio de Janeiro, lies a mystery that has puzzled experts and enthusiasts alike for over half a century. It was here, on a remote hilltop, that a chilling discovery was made, one that would begin the tale of the lead mask case. August 20th, 1966, began like any other day, but ended with a grim revelation. Two men, both electronic technicians, were found dead under bizarre circumstances that baffled the authorities and ignited a whirlwind of speculation and intrigue. Manuel Pereira de Cruz and Miguel José Viana, the unfortunate souls at the center of this mystery, were discovered lying side by side. They wore suits, overcoats, and most oddly, lead masks covering their eyes, masks that were not designed for any known occupational hazard. As we look into this enigmatic case, we find more questions than answers. What were Cruz and Vienna doing on that secluded hill? Why the lead masks? And most importantly, what led to their untimely deaths? Manuel Pereira de Cruz and Miguel José Vienna were not adventurers or thrill seekers. They were ordinary men, electronic technicians by trade. They owned and operated their own business in the thriving heart of Campos dos Goytacazes, a city known for its sugarcane plantations and oil fields. Both men were family men, respected in their community and recognized for their expertise in television and radio repair. Their journey to the hill in Niterói was as unexpected as it was mysterious. On the morning of their departure, they told their families they were traveling to Sao Paulo to purchase some equipment for work. However, instead, they made their way to Niterói, a decision that would forever alter the course of their lives. Unbeknownst to their loved ones, Cruz and Vienna embarked on a mission shrouded in secrecy. With no clear evidence to explain their true intentions, the pieces of this puzzle only deepen the enigma of their tragic end. As the sun dipped below the horizon on that fateful day in August 1967, a young boy flying a kite stumbled upon a sight that would haunt the local community for decades. On the remote hilltop of Vintam, the lifeless bodies of Cruz and Vienna lay side by side. Dressed not for rugged outing, but in suits and overcoats, each man wore a bizarre accessory, a lead mask crudely cut to cover only their eyes. No signs of external trauma or struggle marred the scene, only deepening the mystery. Beside them, the scene was meticulously laid out, with a water bottle, a towel, and a notebook containing cryptic instructions. These items hinted at a planned procedure or experiment, with notes reading 1630, be at the agreed place. 1830, ingest capsules. After the effect, protect metals, wait for mask signal. The absence of capsules mentioned in the notebook and any immediate hazardous materials left more questions than answers. Nearby, a receipt confirmed the purchase of the very lead used for their masks, suggesting premeditation and purpose. The cryptic notes found beside Cruz and Vienna opened a window into their intentions, yet this window seemed to look out onto a landscape of more questions than answers. The entries in the notebook suggested a sequence of actions planned for that evening, involving unknown capsules and an anticipated signal. As investigators dug deeper, they faced the daunting task of deciphering these clues without any physical evidence of the capsules or the metals to be protected. The reference to a mask signal in the notebook triggered rampant speculation and a flurry of interpretations. Was it a coded message meant for the men to await specific conditions or a particular time to don their masks? Could it have been a psychological trigger, part of a self-induced experiment or mental state that they were trying to achieve? Or perhaps, as some have daringly suggested, it indicated an expected sign from an otherworldly source. Were Cruz and Vienna waiting for a signal from extraterrestrial beings as part of a contact event they believed themselves to be a part of? This mysterious component of their notes has fueled a wide array of theories, ranging from the plausible to the fantastic, each adding layers of complexity to an already baffling case. The police investigation initially focused on the possibility of foul play or a suicide pact, but the lack of violence or toxic substances at the scene quickly steered the inquiry towards theories of an experiment gone awry or an esoteric ritual. The unique and unexplained nature of the lead masks only compounded the community's fascination and fear. As the years passed, the lead mask case has remained an enigma, with each clue seeming to lead only to further mysteries. What were Cruz and Viana really trying to achieve on that lonely hilltop? And what ultimately led to their mysterious demise? Over the decades, the lead mask case has transcended its origins as a local mystery to become a subject of national fascination and international curiosity. Its strange and unresolved nature has made it a staple of true crime and paranormal discussions alike. The mystery has inspired numerous articles, books, and documentaries, each attempting to shed light on the events of that fateful day. It has even found its way into the darker corners of pop culture, serving as inspiration for episodes of television series and segments in horror films, where the eerie details are often embellished or reimagined to suit fictional narratives. In academic and forensic circles, the lead mask case continues to be a topic of interest due to its unique and puzzling aspects. It serves as a case study in investigative techniques and the challenges of dealing with evidence that raises more questions than it answers. The case is frequently cited in discussions about the limits of forensic science and the complexities of unsolved mysteries. Despite advancements in technology and forensic methods, the lead mask case remains an open file in the chronicles of Brazilian criminal history. New theories and technologies have occasionally prompted re-examinations of the evidence, yet no definitive answers have ever been uncovered. As it stands, the lead mask case remains as much a mystery today as it was over 50 years ago. The case remains open, not just in the files of the Brazilian authorities, but in the minds of all who are drawn to the world's great mysteries. It continues to intrigue new generations, drawing them into a puzzle that has yet to be solved, a story without an end. We'd like to know what you think about this unusual mystery. What do you think happened to the men on that hilltop? What were the lead masks? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation going long after dinner. Imagine walking slowly through a lush green forest. The air is fresh and filled with the scent of pine, moss, and the earth after a rain. As you breathe deeply, the stress of everyday life begins to melt away. This isn't just a casual stroll in the woods, it's Shinrin Yoku, or forest bathing, a practice that began in Japan and has spread across the globe, touching millions with its healing embrace. Coined in the 1980s by the Japanese Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry, and Fisheries, Shinrin Yoku doesn't involve bathing in the traditional sense. Instead, it's about basking in the forest atmosphere, taking in the forest through all our senses. This mindful practice harnesses the therapeutic powers of nature, offering not just peace of mind, but a host of proven health benefits. Today, as we face the fast-paced demands of modern life, the simple act of connecting with nature through Shinrin Yoku is more relevant than ever. But what exactly makes it so beneficial? And how has this practice gained such a following worldwide? The story of Shinrin Yoku begins not just in the laboratories of scientists, but in the ancient forests of Japan, where the whisper of leaves and the calm of green spaces have been a sanctuary for centuries. Long before the term was officially coined, the practice was inherently understood and embraced in the cultural fabric of Japan, deeply rooted in Shinto and Buddhist traditions that emphasize harmony with nature. By the 1980s, Japan faced the pressure of an escalating technological boom and urban expansion. It was during this era of heightened stress and disconnection from nature that the Japanese government, in a visionary move, introduced Shinrin Yoku as part of a national health program. The aim was clear: to offer a soothing antidote to the hustle and bustle of city life and to reconnect citizens with their natural heritage. The introduction of Shinrin Yoku was not just a public health initiative. It was a callback to nature, grounded in centuries-old wisdom, but supported by emerging scientific research. Studies conducted by Japanese researchers began to uncover the tangible benefits of spending time in forests. One landmark study showed that forest environments could significantly decrease cortisol levels, a common stress hormone, compared to urban settings. This research sparked a wave of interest and led to the establishment of forest therapy bases across Japan, areas designated for the practice of Shinrin Yoku, where the healing touch of nature could be experienced firsthand by all. As we trace the roots of Shinrin Yoku, we see not just a modern wellness trend, but a timeless tradition revitalized by our contemporary world, a testament to the enduring power of nature's embrace. As the ancient practice of Shinrin Yoku was embraced in the modern world, scientists began to explore the mechanisms behind its remarkable benefits. What they discovered was a profound connection between nature and our health, a connection that is now backed by decades of research. One of the key findings centers around the presence of phytoncides in forest air. These natural oils, produced by trees and plants to protect themselves from harmful insects and germs, have a significant impact on humans. Breathing in phytoncides boosts our immune system by increasing the activity of natural killer cells, a type of white blood cell that fights off infections and helps prevent cancer. The benefits of forest bathing don't stop there. Numerous studies have shown that regular exposure to forests can lower blood pressure, reduce stress, enhance mood, and even improve sleep. Researchers from Chiba University in Japan conducted a study that demonstrated a clear decrease in cortisol levels, heart rate, and blood pressure among subjects who participated in forest bathing compared to those in urban settings. But the science of Shinrin Yoku isn't just about what's measurable. It's also about the intangible, the feeling of tranquility when you hear the rustle of leaves, the peace that washes over you as you gaze upon the verdant green. These experiences have been shown to increase feelings of gratitude, joy, and a sense of connection to the world around us. The mental health benefits are equally compelling. A study published in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health found that forest bathing significantly decreased scores of depression, anxiety, and anger. This emotional cleansing is perhaps why Shinrin Yoku continues to be a revered practice, not just in Japan, but around the world. With each step into the forest, with every deep breath of its healing air, we tap into a natural remedy that has been there all along, waiting to be rediscovered in our busy lives. While the science of Shinrin Yoku reveals its numerous benefits, the beauty of this practice lies in its simplicity and accessibility. Whether you are near a sprawling forest or a small city park, the essence of forest bathing can be embraced anywhere trees and greenery can be found. To begin your journey into forest bathing, there's no need for hiking boots or special gear. Instead, all that's required is a willingness to slow down and immerse yourself fully in the natural environment. Remember, the goal of Shinrin Yoku is not to reach a destination, but to connect with nature in a deep and meaningful way. Regular practice can lead to lasting health benefits, a calmer mind, and a rejuvenated spirit. From its origins in Japan, Shinrin Yoku has whispered its way across the globe, resonating with diverse cultures and landscapes. As it has traveled, it has been embraced and adapted, reflecting the universal human need to connect with nature. In Sweden, the concept is known as Skogsloft, integrating forest air into daily life and urban planning. In the United States, therapy trails and certified forest therapy guides offer structured forest bathing experiences, from the redwoods of California to the deciduous forests of New England. Structured sessions often include guided mindfulness exercises, sensory awareness practices, and invitations to interact with the natural surroundings in a more meaningful way. Guides might encourage participants to find a particular tree that resonates with them, engage in a dialogue with the forest, or create natural art from found objects as a way to deepen their connection with nature. In South Korea, the embrace of Shinrin Yoku has led to the development of an impressive network of healing forests. Recognizing the health benefits of forest therapy, the South Korean government has actively promoted and invested in these natural sanctuaries as a vital component of public health strategy. Since the early 2000s, South Korea has established over 40 healing forests across the country, each carefully managed and maintained by the Korea Forest Service. These forests are not just random stretches of woodland. They are meticulously chosen for their beauty, tranquility, and the therapeutic qualities of their environments. South Korea's commitment to those healing forests reflects a unique integration of traditional knowledge and modern scientific understanding, creating a public health initiative that not only preserves the environment but also enhances the well-being of its citizens. The global spread of Shinrin Yoku is a testament to its versatility and effectiveness. It transcends borders and languages, offering a quiet refuge in nature, a refuge that seems to be universally understood and appreciated. As more countries adopt and adapt Shinrin Yoku, they contribute to a growing body of evidence and a collective understanding that spending time in nature is not just a luxury. It is a vital part of human health and happiness. As we've journeyed through the serene pathways of Shinrin Yoku, from its deep roots in Japan to its blossoming across the globe, we have seen its profound impact on health, well-being, and community. This simple yet powerful practice of connecting with nature has shown us that the path to wellness can be as gentle as a forest breeze. Shinrin Yoku isn't just a meditative journey through the woods. It's a bridge to a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the natural world. It teaches us to slow down, to savor the moment, and to rediscover the healing rhythms of nature that are often lost in our fast-paced lives. As we move forward, let us carry the essence of the forest with us. Let it remind us that our health is inextricably linked to the health of our environment, and that by nurturing our connection to nature, we nurture ourselves. Whether it's a moment of peace in your local park or a deep immersion in a distant woodland, each step into nature is a step towards healing. So, find your forest, find your peace, and let the forest guide you back to a state of harmony and health. We'd love to know what you think about this unique concept. Do you agree with the concept? There is a benefit to being in nature. Or do you think it's all hokum and a bunch of phooey? Leave us your thoughts in the comments below, and while you're there, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Well, friends, we have come to the end of another fabulous dinner party. We hope you enjoyed these stories tonight. It's not every day you hear about one of the greatest conmans of the 20th century, or an unsolved mystery deep in the heart of Brazil, or a unique health benefit to enjoying nature. But that's exactly what we did, all in one night. We hope you enjoyed yourself, and if you did, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We hope to see you again at the table next time. Until then, my friends, may your gatherings always be eclectic and your stories compelling. Good night.